because I wanted to be honest with him. So,
Yeah.
wouldn't have to be no inquiries. I've seen a lot of police brutality, and I seen the EMT video, and I didn't want none of that to happen to me.
Yeah, I hear you, brother.
Going on with the guidelines, So then all of a sudden, he just said, I smell marijuana. I was just smoking. So, he just said, I need to search the car now. So I said, you never let me know what you pulled me over for. So he stopped for a second, and he just started looking around the car because he never had a reason to pull me over. Then he looked and seen my parking pass for my neighborhood in my mirror, and he said, yeah, you're not allowed to have stuff on your mirrors. I said, if you pull me over for this, you're going to have to pull everybody on the street over because everybody got something hanging in their mirrors. You understand? Mm-hmm. And now in Montgomery County, Maryland, they just put 60 new red light cameras and speed cameras on the street.
Well, they have those cameras all over Austin. I hadn't seen grids like that, and I thank you for the call. The echo is just too much. I thank you for the call, Gavin. They have grids like that in New York City. I'm very well aware of out in California, some in Florida, but I wasn't expecting it in Austin, Texas. And in Austin, Texas, there are cameras all over the place, all over the place. You're on I-35, you're on 183, you're on Mopac, Camera City. Camera City. If you're downtown, it's Camera Town, USA is what it is. Greg in California, you're on the air. Yes, Greg.
Yeah, I got 3 points. I wanted to say, you know what, the other day when you were going on a rant, bro, you made me proud as an American. That was some good stuff, and if more people felt that passionate about this, we wouldn't have let things get this far out. You know what I'm saying?
I wish that people would be more passionate, but they seem to be so docile and so jacked up on high fructose corn syrup and retarded from their mercury that, again, is only poisonous when they want it to be. See, the mercury in the water, that's poisonous because of coal, but the mercury in the high fructose corn syrup is delicious because it dumbs you down.
Damn. It's a scary thing, man. We don't have much options in that fact. But, one of the other things I want to say is people need to wake up about the police. If they are really here to protect us, they wouldn't spend so much money flying over a helicopter over my house constantly. That they would back us up in court for, like, when someone breaks into your house and cuts themselves on breaking your window, they sue you in the court of law. If they were really here to protect us, man, they would back us up in court too, and they don't do that.
Well, a lot of cops are just people that were nothing in high school. They get this complex, and finally they're given some power, and all of a sudden they're the authority. I hate to use the high school analogy, but how many cops do you know that really went to college? It's not that many. A lot of my friends that are cops, actually, like state trooper level, they did go to college, and that was kind of like a career path. They wanted to be in law enforcement, and good for them. But they're smart people, and I hope they don't abuse their power. I see these guys that, again, just barely got through high school. I got a gun. And the police admittedly won't take you if you're above a certain IQ level because they're scared that you're probably going to make the right decision. But on top of that, the public reason is because they think that you might move on to bigger and better things and won't dedicate your life to the police force. So let's hire a bunch of dummies. And not all you cops are dumb. I'm not saying you're dumb. But when they actually say that if you're too intelligent, you can't be a police officer, what does that say about society? Seriously, our best and brightest should be the one who are there to protect and serve because they don't see themselves as authorities. They see themselves as civil servants, there to help the community.
You should never take that job personal, and they do constantly. They get off on the ego, and they take the stuff personal when you run from them, and boy, it fires them up, and that's a bad thing in that job.
Yeah, especially now more than ever when they're saying that they can tase you to get DNA. That is a bad precedent to set, that if we don't have your DNA and we want it, we'll just tase you for it. That's a great idea. They're tasing 72-year-old grandmothers in Austin, Texas. Cops are out of control. And you know what? I put a lot of people laugh at the "don't tase me, bro" tasing because it made national news, but that kid was asking real questions. He was super excited, sure, but asking real questions to a political figure that should have answered them. He offered to leave without being arrested. He did nothing to be arrested. They would not do so, and then they started tasing him, and that's a sad state of affairs in this country and anywhere in the world, in my opinion. I thank you for the call. John in California, you're on the line. Yes, John.
Yeah, I have a quick question. I know you're big on Ron Paul, and so am I. Why don't you ever talk about Dennis Kucinich? Because he's righteous, too.
No, I do talk about Dennis Kucinich. I always say he's my second favorite member of Congress. He has a large role in Fabled Enemies, and I wish he would do a little bit more. He did a little bit of groveling to Obama. I remember when he was giving the fake speech of the Union, and Dennis was, "Oh, I love you, Obama. Oh, I love you." I wish he would be a little more vocal and say, "Look, we need to get out of Afghanistan and Iraq now. No more redeploying or redistributing forces from Iraq into Afghanistan while you really aren't, doing what you said you were going to do. Get out of the war." And I think he's probably fooled. I think he's too much on these social programs. He probably thinks the Give Act is a good idea. Listen, Dennis Kucinich is a good guy. I think he has his blind spots. However, I'm with you. He's probably the second best guy in Congress. I like Dennis.
Okay. Well, that's all.
All right, man. Go check out my movie, Fabled Enemies. I give him a glowing review. Let's go to Scott in California. Scott, you're online.
Hey, Jason. This is your anti-chemtrail buddy, Scott, out here near Edwards Air Force Base.
How you doing, sir?
How's it going? Hey, you know how Alex uses his theme of the Star Wars theme for his show, and I've been listening to your show about every other night. Have you ever heard of the Peter Gabriel song, "The Tower That Ate People"?
I'm not sure if I know it by name. I've listened to the best of. I know the Beco's People by him. I actually like Peter Gabriel. Of course, Sledgehammer was the big hit, but I'm not sure if I've heard that one.
Well, I think that would be a great intro to your thing. Listen to the first of the lyrics. I don't know what the actual song is really about, but when you hear the first of the lyrics, I think you're going to want to use it as your intro, or at least...
What's the Peter Gabriel track again?
The Tower That Ate People.
The Tower That Ate People. All right, I'll check it out. What else you got for me?
Okay, on my website, on YouTube, which is a YouTube website, I've got the chief meteorologist of Channel 29 CBS News in Bakersfield that I did 2 interviews with. I did 1 interview that went to 2 interviews, and you can watch that on my SOAR, SOAR1U website. His name is Miles Musio, and I interviewed him for 14 minutes in 2 7-minute segments.
Okay, I'll send people there. What's your opinion on this Earth 2100?
You know, I just heard you talk about that with somebody. Is that a movie that's out or something on YouTube or what?
No, it's ABC special that aired, was on Tuesday night. We don't get ABC on DirecTV, so I wasn't able to tape it. But it basically went through all these different plagues and said the administration actually does start blocking the sun with chemtrails and shooting pollutants into the sky. On top of that, I thank you for the call, Scott. We're going to go to Sherry, Jeff, and more. It's the Infowarrior with Jason Bermas, PrisonPlanet.tv, Infowars.com.